All right. Hi, my name's Rob. I'm with precodecamp.com, and in this video we got another great challenge exercise for you if you're just learning JavaScript. A great way to kind of practice what you're learning. Anyways, we have provided you with a random number generator as well as an object here, and I'm going to explain the challenge here. But we're going to use the provided getRandomNumber function in order to generate a random number between 1 and 6. You can choose either to have our custom object that you see right here with dinner options with what's in there already, or you can create your own, but we'll make sure that you need to have 6 on there. Then we're going to write a function that will get a random number, and that number will correspond to that dinner option. So I don't know if anybody has ever had family or friends and you're like, what do we do for dinner? Well, this might be a great way to kind of solve that problem. Right. So anyways, that function that we're going to create here will return the dinner option that was selected, not the number, but the actual dinner option. All right. So let's talk a few things real quick here, and as well as how to kind of solve this methodically. Now, I will tell you this before we get started, that if you are new to programming, and you don't have your Visual Studio Code set up like mine, take a look in the descriptions. I provide you with a link as well as video resources to get everything that you need to get started to get your Visual Studio up and running. Or, of course, you can always use JS Fiddle, Code Sandbox, CodePen, and so on. But let's think about this logically here with maybe some problems that we may need to solve. Is how do we get random numbers? So that might be one problem. The next problem is, well, we get a random number, then how do we access these options that are in here? So let's first take a look at the code, look at the existing code that's here, and see how we're able to use it really quick. And so in order to get a random number generated here, this function here takes a minimum and a maximum, right? And what we want to supply in it is, for our example up here, it says that we need to choose something between a 1 and a 6. So if I go ahead here, and I'm going to scroll up here just a little bit. If I console log getRandomNumber, and I supply a 1 and a 6, and I save this and I run this a few times, I notice that I am getting values that are between 1 and 6, right? So if I change this to 100 and save that, I'm going to clear out this code here, and I play it. There's a 7, there's a 71, right? And so you can see that as we add numbers to this second argument, our range is kind of expanding. So if you are just starting your coding development learning cycle here, this function right here is definitely something that can be reused, refactored to meet the needs of any major project that you might be doing for your learning progress. Whether that be create a random number generator for some dice, create it for guess a number, right? This getRandomNumber is a function that you're going to want to keep in your toolbox. All right, so we know now how to use the getRandomNumber function. Let's go ahead and see about accessing items in the object based off of what we see here. And like we're not going to want to be able to use dot notation in order to reference items in an object. So usually in an object you can reference things utilizing dot notation, but in this case here we're going to use square bracket notation in order to reference the item here. So let's take a look at that. Let's do a real quick console log, and we're going to do dinner options. And instead of using dot notation, I'm just going to use the square bracket, and then I'm going to put a number in there. And in this case here, I'm going to do 3. So if I save this, it's going to look for the key over here of 3. So if I save that, I do get sushi, right? If I put 4 in here, let me clear this out again. Save this, run this, I get burgers for 4. So imagine if we were to put in a getRandomNumber generator and store that value into a variable and then plug that number into here, we would probably get one, right? So let's go ahead and set up our function now. Now that we know how are we going to use the random number that we get and plug it into a return statement maybe, right, for our dinner options and actually get the dinner option that we would like. Okay, so let me get rid of that. All right, so let's create a function here. We're going to call it getDinnerOption. So we'll put that in here like so. We have the curly bracket, and then we're going to put the ending curly bracket in here. So let's go ahead and get that random number first. So we'll say let random number equal, and then we're going to do the get random number, and we want to supply it with the starting point, which is a 1, and we want to go to a 6. Now that is going to be stored in this variable right here called random number, and then all we have to do here is we'll do a return of dinner option square bracket random number. Okay, so this function is going to return the dinner option that it chose with the random number. Now if we save this and run it, we're not going to see anything. We need to first call this function that we have right here, which is getDinnerOption. So if I say dinner choice equal getDinnerOption, and then we can do a console log of dinner choice. All right, so now let's go ahead and save this. Let's run it. And there we go. The first one is a salad. Let me clear this out. Let's play it again. Tacos. Clear it out. Play it again. We get pasta. So our random number generator is working. Our return statement is working. And we're saving it into a variable here called dinner choice. All right. So feel free to play around with this. If you enjoyed this tutorial, subscribe. And again, take a look at our Discord channel if you're needing any extra help or anything like that. We're more than happy to help you out there. All right. So we'll see you next time.